I just wish we could see Peter.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Peter Parker. I am Spider-Man.
Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I love finding affordable ways to DIY a variety of things. Money can't buy everything, except maybe figures. I love collecting figures and recreating iconic scenes. Every figure deserves to shine on my display. So every week I ask myself the same question, and answer it by creating something I'm proud of. Join my weekly adventure by subscribing to my channel. Leave your feedback and suggestions down below. I often get inspired by your comments, and I hope I can inspire you too. Last week, I recreated the ending of Far From Home and the beginning of No Way Home. Okay, that was a mouthful. Check that video out if you haven't already. Today, I'm going to... my eyes. And I thought the Hasbro orange red was bad. This one's even brighter. So, I got this amazing Spider-Man 2 figure here. It's not a Marvel Legends figure, but I really like the design of this suit. So I figured I should get it and maybe get it to work with my other Marvel Legends figure. It's just that there are a few issues. 1. It's way taller than the typical Marvel Legends figure. And 2. I believe I got a knockoff. It did come with all the extra hands and webs, etc. But the quality is strange. The paint job is off, and the figure is made out of this hard plastic that feels quite fragile. The main reason why I still wanted it was because it came with an Andrew Garfield head. It's just that this face is a mess. So, let's deconstruct this figure. The main issue I have with this figure is the bright orange that keeps popping up on figures. Luckily, I now have plenty of experience on fixing this unpleasant looking red. However, I do wonder if the raised web lines will cause issues. Okay, the other thing I gotta fix is the Andrew Garfield face. The overall shape seems right, so maybe I can still make this work. And if it doesn't, at least I still have the awesome masked head. So, can I make it? I'm gonna start by doing the same thing I did to all my other MCU Spider-Man. I'm gonna go over all the red areas with the holiday red. The holiday red is deeper and has more of a cool tone. It's not the exact shade I want, but this is more like a base layer. I'm gonna apply another color later to get the correct shade of red. Okay, now that I've gone over everything with the red, I'm gonna apply a thin layer of blue over it. The idea is to mix the cool color into the warm red to make it more of a cooler, darker red. I don't like using black to mix colors because black is much harder to control and usually turns everything muddy. I like how this leg turned out, so I'm gonna do the same thing to the rest of the figure. Look at the difference, it's like night and day. I feel like I'm overdoing it. The figure is turning a bit darker than I expected. So I'm gonna add some red back in to hopefully fix that. I do prefer this darker red over the bright orange though. Okay, next. I'm gonna apply a thin layer of silver onto his eyes. I love those giant eyes of his. I also applied a very thin layer of silver onto the spider symbol to make it slightly more reflective. In the movie, Spider-Man's eyes were made out of this glossy material, so I'm going to apply a varnish over the black rims of the eyes to make them glossy too. Yay, looking good. But now the web lines are barely noticeable due to the paint, so I'm going to add them back in by going over them with the silver. Tom Holland's Spider-Man suits have very subtle web lines, but Andrew Garfield's suit has very pronounced web lines. So I'm gonna have to add them back in, one line at a time. Be right back. Okay, that took a while, but look, web lines. Yay! Okay, next. This is me trying things. I want to make the blue a bit more reflective, so I'm gonna mix a bit of blue with silver and apply a thin layer of that onto the suit, to give a bit of life back to the suit. Alright, The figure is starting to look right, but it still looks a bit dull. The red looks a little dusty. So I'm going to try and revive it by adding a thin coat of varnish. I need to be careful, because I don't want the entire figure to have the same glossiness. Otherwise, it'll look too plastic-like. I just wanted to have that reflective spandex look in the movie. While the varnish is drying, I started working on the Peter Parker head. This head has a green hue to it. He looks like he's seasick and is about to vomit. And worst of all, he doesn't resemble Andrew Garfield at all. Let me fix the skin tone first. I generally prefer working with thin layers of paint, but because of how patchy and green the original paint job is, I'm gonna have to apply more paint than usual to cover up the original colors. I need to neutralize the green hue with warm shades of colors. Next, I'm gonna fix his eyebrows. Andrew has thick bushy eyebrows. Now the most challenging part. I need to capture Andrew's eyes. The original set of eyes are lifeless. It's pretty much just two dots on the face. The eyes are the window to the soul, and this head has no soul with those eyes. Here's one eye painted. It's something. Let me work on it a bit more. Okay, I worked on it a bunch more. Not bad, not bad. It's still not perfect. I think it's because the hair is a bit on the yellow side. So I'm going to apply a reddish brown over it and finish it off with some highlights. Alright, here's the finished head. Look at that before and after. Look how radioactive the original looks. The painted one isn't perfect, but at least it looks more natural. What do you think? Does it look somewhat like Andrew Garfield? Okay, let's look at the finished figure. Ooh, I really like how this turned out. I think I captured the movie colors pretty well. Another reason why I like this particular Spider-Man costume is because this Spider-Man looks like a comic book character. The leaner, skinnier body and those giant eyes. The original figure actually looks like a cartoon or comic version. It's just too orange. And I am going for the movie look, so I'm pretty satisfied with the final result. Here's Spider-Man with his mask off. Look how odd the original looks now. It looks like he's sick of wearing the suit, whereas the painted version looks way more natural and lifelike. Here's the close-up of Andrew Garfield. Does it look like Andrew? In certain angles, maybe? Let me know down below. I personally think this is a win, because I get to transform a questionable knockoff figure into something more presentable. I just wish it scales better with the Marvel Legends figures. He looks like a giant next to Tom Holland. But it's fine. This was a good practice. Now I know how to fix Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Let's hope Hasbro release new Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man figures, so I can recreate the final battle scene with all the Spider-Men. Montage time! I had so much fun filming this figure. This figure is interesting. I don't like how thick the neck is, and how limiting the head movements are, but once I find the right camera angles, I'm able to do all these interesting poses with his arms and legs. It's a lot more versatile than the typical Marvel Legends figures. It's also great that this figure comes with a lot of extra hands. My favorite are the open hands. They just make him look so much more relaxed. Kinda goes with Andrew Garfield's chill personality. I also love the web shooting hands with the actual webs coming out of them. They look so cool in motion. Oh, and I kinda figured out how to put these two Spider-Men in the same frame. Just gotta put Tom a lot closer to the camera and have Andrew crouch to reduce the height difference. These are my favorite Spider-Man movie costumes, and I just love how drastically different they are. Hey, you can now support me on Patreon. I post quite regularly there, from behind the scenes updates to sneak peeks to video breakdowns. Top tier members will receive a DIY 3D mini poster every month. These mini posters look great by themselves, but even cooler next to other mini posters. I love making things, and this is my way to thank my supporters. The link to my Patreon is in the description box down below. Okay, let's end this for the photo shoot. For a knockoff figure, this turned out pretty awesome. He's quite photogenic. Look at all these cool shots. I feel like I'm able to do more natural looking poses with this figure than my other ones. He's having a ton of fun just shooting webs. The Andrew head is okay. He looks like Andrew in some angles, it's just not as eye-catching as the masked head. I think the issue is the thick neck. It makes it look like he has a very short neck. Otherwise, he would have been perfect. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a like and subscribe if you're interested in more Marvel related content. Stay inspired and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you.